Alright, as you know, lately I've been doing a lot of miniatures. I've been showing them on Facebook and stuff. And I'm really enjoying doing them. Here are some right here that I have done. These are little 2.5 inch figures that I have done just to play with and stuff. I haven't gotten them painted yet or anything like that. But I've been enjoying doing these small miniatures, and I'll tell you what, they're a big joy to do because you don't use a lot of wood. This wood is only about 1 inch thick. I'm even bearing down to where I'm doing them in 3/4 inch wood. They don't. I know to a lot of people say, well, I can't do that, but yeah, you can. You can if you. Now, let me show you something here. We have two figures here. They're almost exactly the same size. I think because of the hat, this one's just a little over 2 inches, and this one is just a little under 2 inches, if you can see these figures. Now, this is a little 2-inch figure that I did. And as you can see, the face is small, and it's hard really to get a lot of detail on them when they're that small. So what I created is what I call my big-headed figure. And if you look at the figure, he's just almost about the same size as this one, just that the hat makes him look. But I make the head a lot bigger so that you can get more detail on it, like with the hat and things like that, in other words. And you can put a hat on this one. I just decided to put it elsewhere. But so what basically it is all about is if you look at that, I bring I take the head and I bring it around further so that you can see the head and with more detail can be done. And then the body is just sort of done like this, in other words, so that you can get more detail on it. Now, what I want to introduce today is the same thing, but this is actually only about 1 3/4 inches high, and 3/4 inches thick. So it's not real thick, but we're slowly working down where you can have more on your head. In other words, what I'm saying is you can get up more of a detail on your face and things like that if you want that, and the body is a little bit smaller. So this is what I call, years ago I did what was known as the big-headed Santa, and it was very similar to that. And all I did was simply take the head. If you look at the original 2-inch figure, if you put it side by side, I simply took the head and just made it bigger. Longer and bigger so that I can get more detail out of it. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do today, is what I call the big-headed figure, the big-headed miniature figure. Now, it does take the ability to work in small places, but it's not that bad, not that bad at all. And I'm going to show you how you do this little figure. He only stands 1 3/4 inches high, but we're going to get more depth onto his face. And to me, the face is the basis of a figure anyway. The face is very important because the face is what gives it character more than anything in the world. The clothes do too, but I think it gives it more depth than anything in the world. So, the first thing we want to do is to just go ahead and separate the head from the body. Which I'm going to do right here. Now it makes the head, of course this is a caricature, so it makes the head bigger. And then we just sort of Now, do we want to put a hat on him? We have to make that decision. Do we want to put a hat on him? I guess we can. But we are simply separating the head from the body. Let's go ahead and put a hat on him just so that you can get an idea. We're just going to start on both sides, evenly removing a little bit. And then we want to just round off the top a little bit. Just like that. Let me take a little bit away here. Just a little bit away from the body here just to get it away. So that's just a little slag that I got from cutting it out. Let me try to get my knife in there. Okay. There you go. Now, that's why they're called big-headed, of course, because it's got the head. Now, let's go ahead, and usually in these figures, I'll go ahead and put the hat somewhere around in this area and come across with it, just like that. And then the nose will be somewhere into this area. By making the face so much larger, I'm able to do that. See, I have plenty of room. And I'm going to cut up to here. And I'm going to remove a little bit of wood. I'm going to come on this side. The reason I don't cut too much here is because our nose is going to be here. I'm going to come around like this. See, all I'm doing is establishing where my hat is, where the brim of my hat is going to be. Now, as I do this, you see that's where my nose is going to be. And then I have plenty of room for my face. So let's sort of just come around the brim of the hat now, like this, and just draw a little line. And we're going to start. That's going to be the top of our hat. And I'm going to kind of start. I just basically come up around there and start removing wood on all sides, because that will be the brim of my hat. Don't have to put a hat on him. Not necessary. I could have done this without a hat. But I want to show you how I do this. Now you're really getting into small miniatures, so you want to be careful of your hands. You want to be careful and just use the tip of the knife to do your cutting. Okay, now basically this brim is going to have to come back. This brim is going to have to come down. So we just continue to go around the figure, cutting, removing, and bringing this crown back, and flattening out this brim. You just take your knife, sometimes just kind of do this, bring that crown up a little bit, not crown but top of the hat, up a little bit, just go around, taking off some, and making the hat. bringing the top of the hat inside more and more. Okay, now we're going to continue to work around the head a little bit. Sort of just bring that hat there, taking a good little piece off there. Bring that hat up underneath the head. Now you want your hat to fit up underneath the head, on top of the head. It doesn't just fit on top, it fits underneath the hair, it fits underneath the, and we want that. So the more we bring it around, the more we like it. Okay, now let's go ahead and what we can do is we can come up underneath there where the nose is, and we can make a little cut there, because we're going to bring that in just a little bit. There we go, because the nose just doesn't fit. Now we're going to go ahead and cut our nose, which is the center of our face. You want to be careful. You take small cuts. When you're doing a small figure, you don't take heavy cuts. If you're a heavy, you know, if you like, see how I'm just using the tip of my knife? I'm just barely using the tip of my knife as I make my little cuts. And if I have to make 3 cuts to finish it off, then make 3 cuts. There's nothing to it. Now I'm gonna run my knife this way and take it and come up underneath here, separate the nose. Doesn't matter how big the nose is at first, I can cut it down. Come up underneath here, separate that. Okay, now that nose of course is a little bit big. We're going to bring it down. It's no big deal, no big problem. Let's come back here and just kind of separate the hat brim from the back, which you just do with a few little cuts into there. See how I'm just barely using the tip. And look at that, see? Now we've already getting our hat established. We're getting our little 1.5 inch figure. Now of course the nose is going to have to be brought down. It's too big. That's okay. There you go. Now the nose is brought down, and we're going to do a little bit of this and that. And All right, look at that. All right, well let me go ahead and end this video right now, and we'll continue with it a little while.